Hey YouTube family, how are you doing? Welcome to the Gear Cave. Let's go check out some gear. So welcome back to the TEASE SBH-E reverse guitar review part 2. So the first video is in the description below, and for those of you who are just joining me on this, the reverse guitar review is because I took the TEASE out of the box at a gig, an outdoor gig nonetheless, to see how good it was, and the thing was fantastic. So, I'm going to take a closer look, going to give you a couple tones here in the room in a controlled environment, without the band and the weather, wreaking havoc. And then we'll take a closer look at just the cosmetics of the guitar, overall construction. I want to see what kind of pots are in there, how the wiring looks. I'm going to pop the neck off. I want to see how tight it is in the neck pocket. I'm going to check those tuners, going to see if they're lubricated because they're locking in the back. And just basic stuff. So if there's any work needed to this guitar, like fret leveling, etc., I will do that in part 3. But the way this thing played out of the box, I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of work to do to this. Again, I'm going to say this. Guitar reviews are pretty much useless for the most part because the guitar that I got is not the guitar that you got. And there can be a big difference from one guitar to another. The pickups could be slightly overwound on yours or slightly underwound on mine or vice versa. The saddle height screws could be taller on yours than on mine. Tuners could be stiffer or looser on yours than on mine or vice versa. I could be like, oh, these tuners suck. And you're like, mine are really good. Or you could be like, oh, well, I'm not going to buy a guitar because the tuners suck. So whoever's reviewing a guitar online, it's their own perspective. And that could be totally different from yours. Take this little review lightly because it's only based on what I'm getting. Plus, the big thing you need to know, these guitars don't come to you like from the Amazon warehouse or directly from the manufacturer. These guitars go to Torsten and his team, and they go through every single one of them and make sure that they have a basic setup. Now, you can pay extra and get a pro setup, but I didn't get that. Plus, my guitar is a B-stock. The B-stock reason on this guitar is a speck in the paint. So here it is. I just literally put it on the bench. So there is my TEASE SBH-E. This gold paint, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but this gold metallic paint is just stunning. It's perfect. Except for, look, there we go. There's B-stock right there. It's a small little black fleck or speck of something in the paint, and you cannot feel it. It's perfectly flat. Like there's no bump or dent or anything. Like the clear coat is perfect. But you can see it, and Torsten B-stocked this guitar. So look at that, just absolutely perfect. So you have the heel contour here, which is good. It's like that handshake thing that Phil McKnight always talks about. It's great. It's really good. And you have easy access to the high frets, like no effort whatsoever. And then you also have this little palm contour right here and a nice belly cut. String through body. Beautiful roasted maple neck. Really nice. Really nice locking tuners. These tuners were nice and smooth. I had no problems like tuning the guitar. I didn't feel any of them were sloppy or loose. We have some nice string trees. A lot of guys say they're roller string trees. These are not. It's like just a solid piece of metal, but they're rounded and they're notched, and there's very little string contacting the under surface of these string trees, which is nice because the more surface contact, the more friction, the more tuning instability. So these are really nice. You see the nice T there. It almost looks three-dimensional. It almost looks like it's over the clear, but it's not. You run your finger over it and it's dead smooth. Like it's just so well done. And I found another little issue. It says, I don't know if you can see that. It says SBH-E Series. My letter I is missing for series, so S-E-R-E-S. The nut is beautifully cut. The action at the nut is great. I like these big black fret markers because you can easily see them. Because I've never really learned to play properly, I really rely on these dots as like a road map. And these big black ones are really easy to see. And the stainless steel frets came pretty nicely polished. Like, look how they reflect light. Now, if you watch the first video, so this guitar, we got rained out. It was an outdoor gig. We were under like a tent, but the side winds were kind of blowing the rain all over the place. And, you know, everything kind of got wet, including this guitar. So I did wipe it down, of course. Usually when water contacts wood, stuff happens. So I'm just going to check for fun to see if it's still tuned from the gig. And the only other thing that I can find on this that may not be perfect is my neck has a knot in it. You can't feel it at all. And like there's no divots, there's no dent, there's no like raised surface. But usually a knot in a neck would potentially be, you know, a weak point. The solidity of the grain is interrupted. But I've had guitars with knots in the neck before and it's never been a problem. As far as frets go, there's a little bit of gap between the edge of the fretboard and the edge of the fret. You see that? You can see a little bit of the wood showing right on the edge there, which is totally fine because on the lower strings, I never bend up, right? I bend down this way, so I don't care about that. But on a lot of guitars, for me, when I do pull-offs, I get roll-off. The string will roll off the fret, probably because my technique isn't good. One thing I noticed right off the bat with this guitar as I was playing it is that doesn't happen on this guitar. And I noticed that the fret on this side goes right to the edge of the board, but the string is still inside, just like the E string is over here. That little lack of space that isn't on the low E really helps for the pulling off. It's great. Anyway, I don't know if they do that on purpose or if it was actually a QC thing that they missed, that the fret wasn't perfectly centered on the board. But for me, it's perfect because you can't really see it unless you really, really look. But the functionality of it works great for my playing style. I do not get any roll off if I'm hammering on or pulling off, especially on the low E. For controls, you have a three-way switch, you have a volume and tone, and you have a switch down here to split your blade bridge pickup. Treble's right up and down, mid's right up and down, and my bass is rolled off a bit. I do find these pickups a little dark compared to just a traditional tele pickup. That's my clean tone. It drives the amp a little bit. Like the gain is just up and down at 12 o'clock, and that's usually always like my clean tone. Volume pot's very responsive. Tone control, very responsive. As soon as you touch it, you can notice the difference. Totally off. Full. Nice sweep. So flick that switch, so now we're in single coil mode. Sounds like this. A lot brighter. You guys probably won't pick that up on the video, but I can notice the volume drop from the humbucker to the single coil. to the neck pickup and it'll give us this. So pulling off, like I mentioned, right, on the small E string. Get no roll off the frets, like at all. And my technique isn't great, but with this one, because those frets are running a little closer to the bottom edge, it's great for me. So it's like a win-win. Whether it's a defect or missed QC or not, it's great. It just worked out really well. And in the middle position, we have this. It's just nice all around. Middle position split coil, we have this. That's nice, very bluesy. Some heavier gain on this bridge pickup, it gives you this. And that was the single coil mode. Here's the full humbucker. Drive on the neck pickup, it's really bluesy. Drop D. Heavy gain sounds like this. Versatility to the max. Before tearing this thing apart, I want to see how it's set up right out of the box. E string can come down at the nut. B string's perfect. G string's perfect. D can come down. A can come down a bit. And E can come down a bit. Neck relief is like non-existent. It's there and that's it. It's like really straight, which is perfect. That's how I like it. 0.04, 0.04, 0.04, 0.03, 0.04, and 0.04. So 0.04 all the way across, except the G string here is at 0.03. So this action is really low. I usually go 0.05 on the first three and 0.04 on the last three. So again, that's why it was so easy to play. And no fret buzz. So clearly these frets are level, but we will check a little later. E string's perfect. B string is good. Yeah, G string's right on. D string is a little bit sharp. Just a smidge. A is good and E is good. So the discrepancy is minute, even on the ones that are out. Like mine, you probably wouldn't even pick it up by the ear. So, set up out of the box explains why I had no issues whatsoever playing this thing. It's fantastic. I think I read or heard somewhere that they put new strings on all their guitars. So, these are probably good, and I hate to get rid of them, but they've been rained on at the gig. So, I'm just going to change them with the strings that I normally put on, which are Elixir Optiwebs. So, I'm not going to keep these. Let's see if any of these ferrules pop out when you take the strings out. No, sir. They're in there. And they're flush mount. I like that. Perfect. So just checking this bridge plate, you're going to be limited on the style of bridge that you can put on these. If you were thinking of putting kind of a vintage style ashtray bridge on these, I don't think that's going to work out too well without a few mods, because a lot of these ashtray bridges are way shorter than these kind of modern style bridge plates, and they have a 4-hole mount, whereas these have 2 holes at the top and 3 at the bottom. So if I line up this bridge plate with this pickup, and the pickup angle of these bridge plates are not as steep as on a typical Telecaster. So if I line this pickup hole of this Wilkinson bridge with this pickup, I have to tilt it this way for that to fit. You see how that's totally off with the original? These traditional ashtray style bridges won't fit on this guitar. And even if you did have enough room here in the pickup cavity to move it, like to swing it in alignment, your 2 top holes would be hidden, but your 3 mounting holes would be totally exposed. However, your 6 string through body holes would be lined up, because I can see them here looking down right through. So you'd be all set. But you would have to, the angle of this pickup is going to be changed, and you're going to see 3 mounting holes. So you're probably stuck with this bridge plate or a bridge plate like it. I've never seen a modern style elongated bridge plate like this that has like the ashtray walls, like that's shaped like an ashtray bridge. Doesn't mean to say that doesn't exist, but I've never seen one. Just so you know. Okay, so we have full-size pots, we have a real blade switch, we have an orange straw capacitor. These are CTS pots. Wow, man. Very cool. Insulated cloth wire connections, insulated cloth wire pickups, it seems like. Except for the bridge one, it's like it's a 4-wire pickup, and it's covered in like a plastic sleeve. So you have the green and red wire going to the split switch, and then you have the white wire going to the selector switch, and the black wire going to the back of the pup. And for the neck pickup, we have a black and yellow wire. Yellow wire is going to the switch, black wire is going to the pup. Very simple, very clean, nice solder joints, nice components, no shielding in the cavity. But surprisingly, doesn't really seem to matter because I got no noise with this guitar, like absolutely none. The screw holes, I guess they are where they need to be for this plate to fit, but this screw hole is way back, so you got lots of meat between the cavity and the hole. This one is close to the edge, man. It's almost ripping through, but you know, it works. It's only a 5-hole pick guard. So if you were changing the pick guard to an 8 one, you'd have to drill a couple extra holes. Not a big deal. Now, you guys are probably saying, hey, Jason, you can't pull that pick guard off. There's an overhang on the fretboard. Yeah, I know. But if it comes off, that means that this route is a humbucker because I'll be able to slide it back. If it doesn't come out, that means it's only a single coil. So we're going to find out right now. I'm going to grab it, pull it back. Oh, look at that. Holy smokes. Look at the size of the route in that sucker. Super nice routes. I mean, they're a little rough at the bottom and where they drill through, but they're really smooth around the edges. And they're clean. There's not a whole lot of like buffing compound in there. Right? Just a smidge on the tip of my finger. So it's good. It's good. Really nice. All kinds of options there. That's cool. This is an El Nico style pickup. You can see all the pole magnets there coming through the bottom. So it's not a ceramic pup. There's nothing written on the back of it, so I can't tell you any more than that. But looks like it's well made. And sounds good, so good for me. Got the 5 1-inch screws holding this bridge plate down. It's perfect. None of these saddles have screws poking up through, which is great. See what's under here, shall we? Oh, there we go. Ground wire, very clean. String through body holes, 1 take on the bridge holes, and very clean route. Perfect. No issues there whatsoever. This is a nice beefy pickup. There's no writing on the back of it, so I don't know exactly what it is, but again, looks well made. I like what I'm seeing so far. I know you guys can't tell on the video, but none of these holes, control plate, pick guard, bridge, none of these holes are stripped. So whoever is assembling these is doing a good job. Again, another very clean route. Yep, just a typical jack plate. Just a single tab jack plate. If I check quickly. And yeah, so these jacks are similar to the ones that I find in my West Creek guitars. The tab arm is just a little long and it doesn't seat 100% in the tip of the jack. You know how it's recessed in there? So what I do, I just give these tabs a little bend. I put a kink in them, which kind of shortens that tab. And then I bend the top tab just so it'll fit better in the jack tip. Now when you put this in, it's like, oh man, it's like right in there. And it's a nice tight fit. Now, although I said that these are kind of like the ones in the West Creek, I will say this. The metal on these tabs, it's way stiffer than the ones found in the West Creek. It's all good. I'm not changing this. This is a good jack. All right, taking you over here before we take the neck off. Got to check all these tuners. Like I said before, they all felt great. The G string tuner feels a little bit looser than the others. Oh yeah, so this one just wasn't seated as much as the other ones. Some people keep these loose so you can kind of spin them. I don't like that. I like them nice and stiff, and I lined them up as per the string alignment. Just going to check to make sure that these are all nice and tight. And they are. All right, so no issues there. Yep. All right, just want to see if these come out. Yep, they're the pull-out type. Look at that nice brass gear in there. Right as soon as you turn the tuner head, you can see it moving. That's good. However, there is no lubrication in there, so got to add a little bit of synthetic grease between the gear wheel and the worm gear. Oh, pop that back in there. So I'm going to just do that to all of them, and I'll come right back to you. Last one. Done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Looks like 18. Yep, 18. 18 to 1. Let's just check these posts for play. A little bit. A little bit. None. 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 A little bit. Okay. Yep, there's an indexing hole or whatever those are called in the middle. Very clean. Nice thick plate. TEASE Guitars, New York. On here. Just going to pop this neck off. We'll see how tightly it is in the pocket. But, oh, alright. Comes right out. Looks like there's a little shim in there. So that fits in there really nice. A little bit of play, side to side. You got to apply some force to get it out. Ooh, look at that. Super clean. I like it. This truss rod wheel is different than the ones that I've seen. Notice how it sticks out away from the heel. About like 1/8 of an inch. Whereas all my other guitars that have truss rod wheels, these are like flat almost against the heel. Interesting. Must be like maybe a different style, or I haven't even checked to see if it works. Oh wow. That is a smooth wheel. That is nice. Yep, definitely works. Oh, you can feel the resistance now, yep. That's a smooth wheel. And yeah, this is a different style because all the other ones on my guitars have a screw in the middle here. And sometimes that screw gets loose and this truss rod wheel kind of is rattling around. This one doesn't have that. So it must be a different setup. Oh, I like it. Very cool. These frets all look like they're well seated. They're ball end frets. And like I said, on the treble side, they go right to the edge of the fretboard all the way up. But on the bass side, on my guitar, you can see that there's a little bit of space between the edge and the fret. But that's all right. The edges are not rolled per se, but they're not squared. They've been, we'll say, smoothed out. But they're not hard rolled edge. But it's not sharp either. So it's good. Feels like most of the guitars that I play. So I'm right at home with this. This neck is really nice. Nothing wrong there. And this neck pocket is super clean. Look at that. Nothing to do there. There's no, I can't feel any lip. So I don't have to do any sanding whatsoever. This is nice and smooth. Corners are nice and smooth. There's some kind of a little shim down here. And there's like a thin piece of tape over it. The tape is kind of pinched here in the corner. So I'm going to take that out. You know, if I want to be really fussy. There's a little bit of splittering right here. Truss rod wheel wall right in there. That affects absolutely nothing. I will just file that off. Just for me. The other side's nice and smooth. This side, it's got a little splintering there. The last thing we're going to do is check to see if the screws thread in the body. And yeah, they do. So I'll definitely drill these out to probably 11/64 to compensate for the threads biting into this body. And that'll be it. So let's go check to see how level these frets are. Okay, there's a slight little back bow there, it's rocking. And that is good, my friends. Alright, I got the marker here just in case. Let's check. Now, again, this is my guitar, not yours, right? So whatever I find here may or may not be the case with yours. That's why guitar reviews are kind of pointless, because my experience is going to be different than yours. But just gives you an idea, I guess, is why people do these. But oh, found one. Fret 15 is high. I can hear it. Not in the middle. Huh, just at both ends. I'm just going to mark it. Perfect. All right. And fret 22 is low, which is great. I like having kind of a drop off here. So there's two high spots on this whole neck. Just going to tap this one down because it's right on the heel of the neck. Just to see if that changes anything. Oh, and that's all it took. It was just not seated. Easy peasy. All right, guys and gals. Well, there you go. There was part 2 of the TEASE SBH-E reverse guitar review. So as you can see, there is like virtually nothing to do to this guitar other than personal player preference stuff to dial in. That's it. I checked the radius. It's a 12 all the way through. I don't have to set the intonation. I don't have to set the neck angle. Don't have to fix anything. I don't have to replace anything. So these guitars are fantastic. I'll leave you with this, just a brief spec as far as the SBH-E guitar is concerned. So it's a full thickness poplar body with comfort cuts. It's got a roasted maple neck and fretboard with 22 stainless steel frets. It's got an Alnico 5 bridge humbucker with coil splitting alongside an Alnico 5 single coil in the neck. It boasts an 18-to-1 locking tuner system. It's got a bone nut and it has a 12-inch radius, which I just confirmed. It's got CTS electronics and Gravit wiring. And that's pretty much exactly what we saw. If there was anything to improve, and again, that's probably just player preference stuff for me, I would like to see a traditional 4-hole mount bridge on it so that you could pop it off and replace it with an ashtray style and make it look even more traditional, right? Like I mentioned before, with these types of bridges, you're kind of limited. I'd like to see a higher output pickup in the neck. This pickup measures just over 11K. This pickup measures slightly over 5K. So there's a huge difference in output value. Other than that, I wouldn't change anything on this. It's fantastic. Tuners are really good. Neck feels great. Playability out of the box is second to none. electronics are fantastic. So that's it. That's part 2 of the TEASE SBH-E reverse guitar review. Part 1 is in the description below. So you guys take care, God bless, and I will see you in the next one.